This is my first ever Sams Bead Box, and I'm beyond excited to show you what's in it. Today we're unboxing the December 2025 Emerald City Collection, inspired by the Wizard of Oz and packed with bold jewel tones. Let's see what treasures are inside, and I'll make a quick project with the beads at the end. So let's get started. Alright, so let's get started unboxing the strands first, and then we'll go through the individual bags, and then we'll make a little project at the end. So I'm extremely excited about this one. This one is my first Sams Bead Box, so I'm excited to show you what's inside the box. So the first thing you get is a 5-inch strand of 6mm malachite. And these are smooth rounds, and malachite has that natural little banding in it. So you can see a bunch of banding in the stone and everything. Malachite is also one of those stones that's actually quite pricey. So it's very interesting, very nice that we get this much in the box as your first strand. It's like, I saw that and I thought, yep, this is going to be a good box. I like this. Alright, the second one is 10 pieces of 10 by 14mm. These are fancy drops. They're emerald and gold color. So these guys, you can kind of see through the emerald a little bit. Let's see if I can get one to do it. Yeah, my lights are kind of a little too bright, but you can still kind of see through that emerald. It's like a transparent color, a transparent green that's in the center. And then you've got the pretty gold decorations on it. So I really like those. Those are going to be fun to work with. The next strand is also another really interesting strand. This is an 8-piece strand. It is natural inclusions of a crystal quartz gem cut coin. And these are about 10.5mm. So you get 8 of these on your strand. And these are actually natural quartz. So you see a little bit of inclusions there. Almost looks like it's it has like a frosted glass, almost like a piece of ice would sometimes. Sometimes ice looks a little kind of frosty and glass looking on the inside. That's what it reminds me of. And so you can see a little fogginess on this. It's like, I like having inclusions in my gemstones because it just, to me, it makes it more like a gemstone. So these are really pretty. I really like these. These would be really good beads that you can use to brick stitch around the edge because they're so thick. I mean, look how thick that is. With it being that thick, it'd be very easy to brick stitch around this and then hang something down the bottom or something like that. So who knows, that might be the project that I do at the end. Not sure yet. Not sure what's inspiring me just yet, but that's one idea at least. Let's see, the next one is going to be a 15-piece strand of 8mm fire polished rounds. These are in green crystal silcian. I think that's how you say it right. So you've got the green crystal color again, and then you have just a little bit of a coating on it to make it kind of shine a little bit of a goldness to it. Not sure if the camera's picking up that coating that's on there, but there is a little bit of a coating. It's like you'll definitely see it if you get this box. So another really good green color. I love green, by the way, if you haven't noticed. The next one is hematite star cut beads. This is a 5.5-inch strand. They're 4mm and they are gold plated synthetic. So it is a synthetic hematite, which is what you see most hematite on the market these days are synthetic. But it has been plated with the gold, so it's a very nice gold tone. Would go very well with these beads right here as a potential another project. Or my little brick stitch project with maybe this hanging down and one of these in between. That might be an idea. But this is the hematite that we got in here, so that's another nice little bead. I do have an idea for this guy. This is coated shell rounds. They are imitation pearls. It is a graduated strand, so you get anywhere between 4.5 to 10mm, and it's about 8.5 inches. So you've got your little 4.5mm. Come on, focus. There we go. You got your little 4.5mm here. Looks like they go to about a 6mm. Then they move up to around an 8mm, something like that. And then there's your 10mm here in the center. So I do have an idea with this one, with an item that's coming up here in a little bit. Not sure if it's going to look right, but another something that I might be able to do as a necklace. Next thing is the lily flowers. That are these guys. This is a 12-piece strand. They are 8.5 millimeters and they are in the color of olive bronze. So it's an olive colored glass and then it has a bronze wash on top of it. So you can see a little bit of a brownish goldish color shining through. And then your flowers are the same on both the front and the back. So there are those. The next one is a fire polish round again. It is a 4 millimeter and it's a 40-piece strand, and this color is metallic green. So nice, another staple to have 4 millimeter fire polishes. And this is a very, very good greenish gold color. Really like this color. It's a really good color to work with. The next one are Art Deco fans. You get a 6-piece strand on this one. The color is green pink vitriol and they're about 17 millimeters. So there is this one, and it like changes. That's what I like about the vitriol. It changes if you move it in different directions. You can see a little bit of blue right there, but then it kind of turns almost a yellow color or a pink color every once in a while. And then that's what it looks like on the back. So something else that's very interesting to work with. And this, I would almost think that you would be able to do like a right angle weave unit. So do something that's like a square or large square around this and then just have this hang down in the center. So that would be a good option for like an earring, and you can do that as a bracelet too. Just keep it like this and then just do either seed beads or even just one of the smaller beads like this. Just make a unit that is a large square and then you would connect them. And then that would make your bracelet if you wanted to make a bracelet. You can do it as a pendant also. You can even do it as a necklace. Just do it this way, and then you have some that come off in this direction right here. And that would be what would hang down, and you have others that would come off over here. So there's options for you. The next item are lentils. They are front drilled, and they are 10-piece strand, 12 millimeter. The color is green pink vitriol again. So it's the same color as the fans. And so you can see the differences in colors a little bit better on this one, because you just change it in a different direction, and you can see that they kind of change from a blue to yellow to a pink. So very pretty color. And these are, I can see myself in these. These are very reflective, so these are going to be fun to work with too. And they're just a little lentil. I shouldn't say little, these are actually larger, but it's a lentil, which means that there's just that one hole. So you can use it as a pendant if you wanted to, in either earrings or even as a necklace. You can use that as just a simple little pendant. And then this is another gemstone that we get in this box. It is an 8-inch strand of 4 millimeter grade B red garnet faceted rounds. They are semi-opaque. And I love garnet. Garnet is such a pretty color, and it comes in so many different shades and everything. And you can see some of them are a little bit lighter in color, and you've got some that are a little bit darker in color, but that doesn't bother me one bit. There again, I am very big on gemstones. If you've been a follower of my channel, you know that I really love to work with gemstones. So, and I work with all different types of gemstones as far as grade is concerned and things like that, because you can make anything and everything, and it just looks so pretty, and you could sit there and say, yeah, this is real garnet that you're working with or that you're purchasing, for those that buy my items that are gemstones. So I really like this strand of garnet. It's going to be fun to work with that. And this last strand is a teardrop briolette. It is in the color of sapphire, silk, and crystal mix. They are 5 by 7 millimeters, and you get a 30-piece strand. Now these guys are cute little drops, and there's a little bit, I'm not sure if the camera's picking up on it, but you can kind of see a line that goes down the center through most of these, and then that is just part of the bead itself. So this is like dark blue here, and then you flip it over this way, then you see more of the crystal on the other side. And it's just, that's just part of the bead. I love seeing that line down the center, because it gives it more dimension. It gives it more of a, you know, I don't know, just a decorative look. So I really like these beads, and plus I love blue anyway. Blue's my favorite color out of everything. But my idea with these guys was to put it in between, maybe not all the beads on the strand, but have these hanging down in between, at least maybe the ones here in the center. And then just to give it a little bit of a difference there. And then to use maybe seed beads or something like that. Or maybe even use some, what is it called? Silk that you can do knotting with. So you can knot the silk and everything, and maybe use a dark blue colored silk to kind of correlate with the dark blue beads. So that's one option that I thought about doing. So those are the strands that come in the box. So meet me back in just a moment and we'll go through all the individual bags, and then after that we'll do that tutorial. And here are the contents that we received in this month's box that are in the little baggies. So we'll go through each one of these. The first one that you get is this beautiful pendant. Now the color is going to vary depending on which one that you ended up getting. Yours may look a little bit different than mine. It's 28 millimeters. It's a rainbow plated obsidian hexagon pendant. So on this side it looks more blue. On mine, on the back side, it looks more pink / fuchsia, purple, something around in that line. So this one is extremely, I really love this. I really, really, really like this one because I love the blue. I'm not so much of a pink person, but I do like the purple accents that are in there. So this one is a very pretty pendant. I'm really happy about this one. Extremely happy about this next one as well. This is Preciosa Crystal. They are octagon pendants in green pink vitrail, 18 millimeters a piece, and you get 2 of them. And look at those guys sparkle. My goodness. I love it. I love having sparkly things. It's something that I really, really enjoy outside of using gemstones and everything. I really enjoy using sparkly stuff. And I know sparkly is not for everybody, especially down here in this area. I don't tend to sell a lot of my sparkly stuff as much on my tables, but it is perfectly fine. I still love and enjoy to make them because I will wear them myself if I need to. So those are so pretty. I love them. Okay, moving on so we can get through this. This is the next bag. These are melon balloon drops. It's in the color of garnet rainbow luster. You get 8 of these, and they are 8 by 13 millimeters. So these are your little drops, and they kind of look like hot air balloons, especially if you hold them upside down like this, and then you can kind of envision a little basket down here that you would be sitting in if you're in a hot air balloon down here on the bottom. So these are really kind of cool. Very neat, unique. Love the color too, that purpley color. Oop, and now I'm making a mess on my mat. Had it all nice and pretty, and then now I'm making a mess. Alright, so the next one that you get, I'm only going to pick up a couple of these. I'm not going to pick up all of them. These are fire polished cathedral beads. The color is in garnet copper, and these are 6 millimeters, and you get about 20 pieces or so. It looks like it's been weighed out to 6.3 grams, and they have the number about 20 next to it. So you can see the garnet goes along very well with the garnet that we saw with the strands earlier, and then it has just that little bit of a copper or gold wash to it. Very nice. Very like those. Alright, so the next one would actually go along really well with the blue and white necklace that I had thought about using with the pearls and the drops. I'm not going to pick up all of these either, but these are fire polished faceted Hishi beads. And this color is in the color Cobalt. They are 3 by 6 millimeters, and it is in a 7-gram bag, which is about 40 pieces or so. So there's fire polished on the side, and they are called Hishis. Sometimes they're called rondelles, just kind of depends on how it's packaged and everything, but very nice blue, cobalt blue color. So really like those two. Those would work really good for in between those pearls. Just make a simple necklace, which, you know, I may actually end up doing that. Just make a nice little simple necklace. I'm kind of in a necklace mood lately. Alright, let's get through this so we can figure out what I'm going to do. Alright, so this is the next one, and I'm only going to pick up 2 of each color. You get a mixture of these. It is a pearl-coated nugget. It's called Oz Mix, and they are 9 by 11 millimeters. You get 12-piece set. So you get, looks like 3, it's a 12-piece set. So I got 3 of the blue, I got 4 of the green, and then I got 5 of the gold color. So it probably varies as to which ones, what color mixes and stuff that you get, but that's the amounts that I got on mine. Blue is so pretty. That's a really pretty color, blue. Well, the whole thing is pretty. I like all of it. But they're little nugget faux pearls that have been coated in the different colors and everything. Very nice. Alright, so these are some more little briolets that you get. Shouldn't say little, they're kind of big, but they are pear drop briolets. They're in the color of emerald, and it is a 15.5 by 20 millimeters. You get a 2-piece set. So you can see where the hole goes through up here at the top, and then it's the same on the front and the back, and they are very much see-throughy. So you can see that you can see through the green. So it's a very transparent and very beautiful bead. So, and I was kind of thinking about this. Have to look and see if it'll work or not, if you can get 2 strands of the soft flex beading wire through that. I was thinking maybe to put 1 strand through here, put some seed beads or some decorative beads, and just have it hang down back here, down around the bottom, have it go back through this again, and then come up here, and then you use a, what are those called, crimp tubes, up here to make a little loop to where you can hang your ear wire on, and then the end over here would come around and you'd make a little loop up there. So that was something that I was thinking about when I was laying these out, is to see if that would work, something like that. If the soft flex wire doesn't work, you can always use thread and needle also. Same idea basically, just start your thread and needle, go through here, put beads, you know, your decorative beads, however many that you want around it, go back through here again, and then come back up here, put some more decorative beads, go back through this one more time, then you would go back up through your decorative beads up here, and then do some sort of a loop to be able to attach your ear wire, whether you use a wire guard or if you use just a bunch of seed beads, and then that way you can attach your ear wire that way. So just a couple ideas. Getting my ideas flowing. Now this next set is quite outside my comfort zone. You get a 6-piece set of wooden gear charms, and they are between 29 and 39 millimeters. The designs will vary, and it looks like it's a random package, maybe. The word got cut off, so it's random something. But these are really kind of cool. I really like these. I just don't know exactly what I would do with them. So if you have any ideas of what to do with them, then leave your suggestions down in the comments. I'm flipping them over so that way you can see that there's really no difference to the front and the back and everything. So it's really, these are really interesting. I know you can potentially paint these with like acrylic markers and stuff like that, paint markers, which I do not have. I have actual paint that I could use. So I could paint these as a possibility. In fact, I might be able to do, I used to do mandala style dot paintings, so I might be able to do something like that around this guy because it's a little bit bigger, or maybe this one. So I don't know, maybe that's what I'll end up doing, is something like that. And then just make them into some really lightweight decorative earrings, because you get a pair of each of them. So something that's way outside my comfort zone, but that's always, with me at least, I enjoy that because it does give me more ideas and more, be able to broaden, you know, your horizons on how you make your jewelry and things like that. So I love getting at objects like this to basically make me think and figure out, okay, how am I going to use this in jewelry? Alright, so we got 2 more things to go through. You get a very cute little clock pendant. You get 1 piece of this. It is a 31 by 38 millimeter. It says it is made in Greece, and it is also lead free, and it's antique brass is the color. So there's the front part, whoops, not in focus. There we go. That is the front side of it, and then there is the back side, which is almost dizzying to sit there and watch or look at, but very cute. I like that. I love the clock. That's really kind of cute idea. And then the last item is a 2-piece set of hot air balloon charms. They are 16.5 by 23.5 millimeters. And then that's what they look like in the front. And that's what they look like on the back. So really like these guys too. These are really cute. And then that is your December 2025 Emerald City Sams Bead Box, which is my first Sams Bead Box. I'm so excited. Very, very excited to be able to work with this and to be able to come up with some ideas and be able to create content for y'all so that way you can get some ideas as well. So on the next screen you will see a supplies needed page that will give you an idea of what I'm going to use for the tutorial coming up shortly after that. So I will meet you back in a few seconds and we'll get started. Alright, so let's see if we can make the companion to this earring right here. And this is what I decided to do. Now if you don't have these particular ear wires, these were just from my stash. I just thought it was kind of, fit the Wizard of Oz theme, since one of the characters was looking for their heart. So I felt like it fit the theme, and it's got a hidden veil back here in the back. If you don't have anything like this, you can always just use a regular fishhook ear wire or something like that, but I thought that was kind of cute. And that felt like it would work really well. Now I've already cut off a 20 centimeter, about an 8-inch piece of wire. It's going to be more than what you're going to need. It just felt like it was easier for me to be able to make the extra loops and everything up here. It was a little bit easier to work with. So I'm using the Softflex Metallics beading wire today in the antique brass color. So to start off, we're going to take our piece of wire and we're going to string on, I think it was 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 of your hematites with 7 of your fire polished dark green. Don't remember the actual name. What was the color name? Fire polish metallic green. So your hematites with your metallic green. So go ahead and string on 8 of your hematites, but then put a metallic green in the middle of them. And then, whoops, and try not to throw them all over your mat. If you keep from throwing them all over your mat, it makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker to get through the tutorial. Alright, so that should be a total of 15 beads that are strung onto the wire now. And I'm going to hold it at about even or so, somewhere around in there. I'm going to pick up the large teardrop. I'm going to take one end and go through from the right to the left through the hole. Take the other end and go through from the left to the right of the drops hole. I'm going to grab onto both ends and then I'm going to pull, and trying to keep each side at about the same length. Doesn't have to be exact, just makes it a little bit easier to make sure that your loops are going to be about the same in size. And then that's what it should look like so far. So we're looking pretty good so far. Alright, so here is the part that's probably going to be the most complex, is to make sure that your loops up here at the top is very similar to what's already on your earring over here. So I'm going to pick up my crimp tube, I'm going to string it on to both ends of the wire, making sure that the wires don't cross over inside the crimp tube. Go ahead and pick this up a little bit, hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Alright, so my wires are starting to cross over. My small wire should be off to the right over here, the large wire should be off to the left. And then I'm going to try to get this down to where it is about in the same area. as where the other earring is at. And I'm just eyeballing it at the moment. And yeah, we're pretty close to that. I'm just measuring it out. So we're pretty close to that. Maybe a little bit off. And because you're not going to get this exact unless you have a way of measuring it, and there may be a way of measuring it, and I just don't have that tool. Now I'm going to take the longer wire. It doesn't really matter which one, but I'm just taking the longer one because it's a little bit easier to hold on to. And I'm going to make a loop back through that crimp tube. So now there's 3 passes of the wire through that crimp tube. I'm going to continue to try to feed it without moving the other wire around and trying to keep this loop as a facing in the same direction as the rest of the earring. Alright, so now since I've kind of moved that around a little bit, I'm going to have to kind of play with the positioning of the crimp tube again. And this happened with the first one also. It took me a second to get everything to where it was positioned where I wanted it. Alright, so the little loop, yeah, can you see that little loop on the earring that's already done and how big my loop is on the one that we're working on? So now we have to make that loop a little bit smaller. So it's about the same size again. Alright. This one may actually be a little bit shorter. Okay, I'm going to try to make it just a ever bit so slightly larger of a loop. Okay, measuring again. I think that's going to be pretty close. Alright, so once you get everything to the way that you want it, so that's what it looks like so far, going to take the crimpers and put your crimp tube inside your magical crimpers, making sure it is inside in the center portion of the crimper, and then we're going to squish down, and we're going to turn it 90 degrees, put it back in the center, and then squish down. And then now I just kind of keep it in the pliers and then turn the product around, which will also turn around the crimp. And then as you're doing that, you're smoothing out the edges. So I always do this more than I need to. I think I'm just still paranoid about it all. So that way when you're done, you have a nice little ball of crimp right there. Now we just need to cut off the excess. And it looks like my loop is a little crooked. I think it'll still end up being okay though. We'll see. Alright, so cut off the excess, save those excess wires just in case you need some bulk in any type of project in the future. Alright, so see how my loop is kind of off to the side? There's the front of it and then there's the front of the earring. So I think we're going to be okay. We'll see. If I have to, I can always redo it. Now on this first ear wire, on the back part of it, this loop right here was actually soldered. So the loop, the hidden bail that's back here, or jump ring that's back here, was actually soldered. So all I did is I just made sure that I was up here towards the top where the opening is supposed to be, and took my pliers and just made a cut. And then it opened up just fine. Now this one I've already checked to make sure that I didn't have to do that, and it is actually open, so I just twist it open. You probably couldn't see any of that. I just twist it open just like you would any other jump ring. And then we're going to slide this guy on, and then we're going to twist it back closed. And then we'll see how it hangs to see if it's going to look okay on the ear. Alright, I think we're going to be okay. Let's see. Because that one hangs like that. This one does hang off a little bit off to the side, but I think if it's on somebody's head, I think it'll be just fine. So there is our Emerald City pair of earrings. I had so much fun creating with my first Sams Bead Box called Emerald City, and I loved making these Emerald City earrings. The jewel tones and Wizard of Oz inspiration are just beautiful. Let me know in the comments which beads were your favorite. And if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to help support the channel.